All right, Geek Nation, it's your guy, GeekSpot82. Third video coming at you. I decided I was going to do a top 10 favorite action figures video. I gave you guys the room tour. I had a couple people asking about certain figures, so I thought, why not give a little bit of a closer look into my mind about what my favorite figures are and why. So this is the bunch. There's actually 11 figures here because I'm going to do an honorable mention, but we'll get to that. Each one of these is near and dear to my heart for one reason or another. So I thought we'd just kick it off right out the gate. So number 10 on the list is the Loyal Subjects Shenron Build-A-Figure. So you were able to acquire this by finding them randomly inserted in Loyal Subjects Dragon Ball Z blind boxes. It's a multi-part figure. And this one's special to me because my wife and I can't tell you how many boxes of Dragon Ball Z action vinyls that we bought to complete this. But let me tell you, it was a fun hunt to find each piece. We did not buy a single piece offline at any point, which was a struggle because it would have made life a lot easier. So it comes in 4 different pieces, and then I've got a couple of the Dragon Balls with it to really, complete the look. And he goes back together just like so. And yeah, so I talked about Loyal Subjects quite a bit in my first video, so I won't go into too much detail, but awesome company based out of Los Angeles. Number 9 on the list is Jazwares Leviathan figure. So this is the Fortnite Leviathan skin. As soon as I saw this figure, I absolutely had to have him. The fact that he's got a fishbowl for a head totally sold me on it. And you can see it spins around just amazingly. It's cartoonish, but it just strikes the right chord with me. These are not actually the guns that he comes with, but come on, doesn't he kind of remind you of Danny DeVito from Always Sunny in Philadelphia? So that's number 9, Jazwares Fortnite figure Leviathan. Number 8 is the Michael Myers by Neca. This is the ultimate Michael Myers, and he's ultimate for a few reasons. This is from the newest movie, and you can see he comes with a light-up jack-o'-lantern, the decapitated cop's head from one of the final scenes in the movie, and it really just epitomizes everything that I love about Michael Myers: the hollow eyes, the blank stare, the sheer brutality. I really enjoyed the remake or the sequel, however you want to look at it, but great figure. NECA, they make highly detailed figures, but they're not always the best in posability, so Michael really works well with this because he doesn't move around a lot, so that works to my advantage. So that is number 8, the NECA Michael Myers Ultimate Edition figure. So number 7 on the list is not actually an action figure, but I wanted to include it anyway because I've had this figure since the day it was released, and it has been through hell. And it is my Assassin's Creed Ratatonkin or Connor figure. So this is the collector's statue that came from the collector's edition of the game, Assassin's Creed 3. And it's just, like I said, it's been with me for ever since the day the game has been released, and it has been through a house fire and survived, and it has been through a house flood and survived. It is just amazing to me that it is as good in shape as it is. It's got an actual string on his bow. You see the arrows in the quiver. He's holding his tomahawk with the Assassin's Creed logo in it, and there's the hidden blade. The sword is not removable, but it is still there. I just love this figure. I at one point had all of the collectible statues. This one and the statue from Unity are the only 2 to survive in any way, shape, or form. I lost the Assassin's Creed Black Flag figure, which was another great one. Because it was a pirate. Who doesn't love pirates? But While this isn't a traditional action figure, I had to include it just because it is gorgeous. So number 7, the Connor Assassin's Creed Collector's Edition trophy. Coming in at number 6, standing tall all by himself, is going to be Marshal Bravestarr from the show of the same name, Bravestarr. I believe it was a pretty regional cartoon that aired from September of 1988 to February of 1989. There was only 65 episodes, but with the exception of G.I. Joe, this was by far one of my favorite cartoons from the 80s. He was a Native American who was a marshal on the planet New Texas, and he was just the epitome of everything I wanted to be at the time. A quick-drawn cowboy who took no guff and was always there to stand for justice. So I acquired this used. It is not mine. I lost mine many, many years ago. And like the previous one, this one's been through the house fire as well, and he shows a little battle damage from it. But, man, I still love my Marshal Bravestarr. All right, coming in at number 5 is my favorite Green Lantern, Mr. Kyle Rayner. One in a long line of Green Lanterns. I don't know that I can name them all. If you can, let me know all of them. But I remember Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, and I believe Kyle was next on the list. I think there are 2 or 3 new ones at this point, but I couldn't tell you their names if I had to. I stopped following. So this is the Blackest Night version. There have been a few other versions, but they either had posability issues or they were in the wrong colors. There was one, a blue version of him that came out from DC Direct, I want to say. And there was one other in the correct colors, but I missed out on his initial release, and to buy him from the secondhand market is ridiculous. So this is the one I have. He is by far my favorite version anyway. The metallic paint job on him just looks great in the light, as you can see. And with the exception of the new multiverse version that's about to be released from DC Direct, I don't know that I will have one that I enjoy more. So number 5 on the list, Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern. And this one is from the DC Direct Blackest Night line. Number 4 on the list, Marvel's Ares. So this initially was done as a Build-A-Figure that you could get, and if you don't know how Build-A-Figures work for the Marvel Legends line, you have to buy 4, 5, 6 different figures. You get a piece of them each time, and then you would build him. This is the independent one, so this one was pre-fabbed. I didn't have to put him together. He came as you see him, but I missed out on the initial release of the Build-A-Figure itself. And I was so ecstatic when they decided to release him as just a normal figure. In the comics, I thought he was just a total badass, for lack of a better word. And, you know, he would hold his own against Thor. He was a part of the Dark Avengers for a while. Ultimately was ripped in half by Sentry. Sorry for any spoiler warnings there. I should have maybe told you guys about that. But if you haven't read the comic Siege, you should definitely look into it, because the Sentry, who is basically Marvel's version of Superman, just loses his mind and decides to rip old Ares in half here. So it was a very sad day for me on that one, but I love this figure. It's very Roman. He looks like he's the God of War. So my favorite Marvel Legends figure that I own by a lot. So number 4, Ares, the Marvel Legends figure. So before I go into the top 10, obviously you see somebody peeking out that maybe you didn't see initially in the video, and that is my honorable mention. It's Mr. Peely from the legendary Fortnite figures by Jazwares. To be honest, I actually hate this figure. It is my least favorite figure I own, but my kids love it, my wife loved it, and they loved it enough to make sure I got it for Christmas. So they tell people that this is the one figure in my collection that I could not live without. So it's kind of become a running gag in our house that this is Dad's favorite figure. But while I can appreciate the articulation, and it actually comes with different faces that you can swap it out with, this was just the best one in my opinion. And he's a little plain for my taste, but I know he is a well-loved figure by a lot of people, and to that point, they are going to release a Special Agent Peely where he's wearing a tuxedo, and you can actually swap out the faceplates because it's going to be the same figure with a different skin, basically. I will probably have to pick it up just to go along with this version, but just know I do it begrudgingly. Number 3 on the list is the only figure I have that is still sealed in its original packaging, and that is because I'm completely torn if I should open this $200 figure or not. $200 give or take. Depends on where you're shopping, I guess. But this one was given to me as a gift by my brother-in-law. And I mean, it's the 10th anniversary of Spawn collectible figure by McFarlane Toys. And this thing is super heavy, super articulated. I don't know if you can see inside the packaging, but he comes with a cross that he can be posed on or stood in front of. This is just a massive Spawn figure, and I have always loved Spawn, but I don't know if I have it in me to open it and kill what little collectible value I still have in it, or if I should open it and proudly display it with the rest of my collection. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. While you're there, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that alert bell so you know when the next video comes out, because they don't always notify you, and I would love for you to be able to see everything that I put out for you guys. So this is my number 3 all-time favorite toy that I currently own. And like I said, I'm torn. I really want to open it and display it properly, but you know, the value in it kind of keeps me from doing so. I also plan on picking up, there's a new release of the Mortal Kombat version. That one I will gladly and easily open and display, but it doesn't come with that awesome cross that he can be displayed on, or those chains. Look at those chains, those are awesome. So like I said, let me know what you guys think. Maybe if I get enough votes to open it, that's what we'll do, and maybe we'll make a video of that too. So number 3 on the list, Spawn. The first runner-up is gonna have to be my Mezco 112 Moonknight. This was the very first Mezco figure I bought, and it is still by far my favorite. This is the Moonknight. So this was an exclusive figure. You could only get it through Mezco, and he has the adamantium armor on. The other version, he's all white, but I just love the armored version of Moonknight, Mark Spector. His cape is made out of cloth, and it's flowing, and man, it's just great. It comes with multiple posable limbs, and it comes with different heads, different hands, and I like to pose him in a battle scene with my Punisher and Daredevil that I currently own, with him maybe jumping up like he's gonna do some, you know, a Superman punch to Punisher's head, and really make him feel the wrath of the moon god. No shoe. Well, I just knocked him over. Sorry about that. So that is not very heroic in and of itself. But number 2 is by far the hardest choice, only because I love this figure. I love the way he looks and the posability of the Mezco figures. I plan on collecting those a lot more in the near future. But let me know which one you guys want. Maybe I can add that and do an unboxing. So, number 1 on the list, the lonely figure left is actually a custom G.I. Joe piece that was done for me by, I believe the name was GIJoeCustoms.com. I don't remember the name of the guys that did it for me, because unfortunately, the day I got it, my dog ripped apart the package, and thinking it was trash, it got put in the garbage, and I only found it a few days later when I went to take out the trash. So it has been in a plastic baggie in a sealed container trying to make sure I keep it as pristine as I possibly can. But they used my likeness, put my name on the name tapes, copied my tattoos on the arms, and gave me the code name Ink. I about cried when I got this in the mail. I didn't know it was even being made for me, let alone that it would be so incredibly detailed. He is the crown jewel of my G.I. Joe collection by far. And they even included awesome items like a mole pack here. And I'm not going to open them because I don't want to rub the paint too much, but it comes with a coffee cup because that was a Pogue, your service cap, a weapon, a knife, and of course a combat helmet. So the detail in these is amazing. Like I said, I just about cried the day I got them, but he is by far the coolest figure I own, my prized possession. G.I. Joe, codename Ink, based on yours truly, here GeekSpot82. Alright guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will plan on posting again very soon. Leave me a comment below on anything you want to talk about in the future, and let me know what your favorite toy was, and don't forget to, like I said, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I post a new video. Until next time, be good.